Hi, I'm Steffany Strange. Want to hear something scary? 1212 South Korean horror story. In South Korea, one of the most daunting things could be living up to your potential in school. But what's inside the school could be the very thing that kills you. Education and good grades were paramount in South Korea, and teens often went back to school after supper to get ahead with their studies. With the rest of the school dark and quiet, the library was well lit and filled with exhausted teens. Soon-hae told her study partner Ara she was going to take a quick bathroom break. A few minutes after she left the room, Ara and the others heard a light tapping noise. It sounded as if it was coming from the hallway. It began to get louder and faster. Ara figured that Soon-hae got locked out of the study room and was trying to get back inside. As she headed to the door, she realized that the tapping was actually coming from the window. She pulled the curtain back and revealed a tall, gaunt woman. She was ghostly pale with her eyes closed tight, long, stringy black hair, and standing perfectly still. This was a creepy woman, and she was no student. And Ara wondered what she was doing out in the cold. Suddenly, the woman flew forward and pressed her face against the window. Her eyes flipped open, but the sockets were empty. Gaping holes where eyes should have been. Ara quickly backed away from the window. But with one fast jab, the woman shattered the glass with her bony finger. And just like that, the lights went out. Soon-hae was in the middle of washing her hands in the bathroom when suddenly she was plunged into complete darkness. She involuntarily gasped and then laughed for being scared. She pulled out her cell to light her way into the hallway. Her heart began to beat faster when she realized the lights were out in the corridor as well. As she carefully edged her way back to the library, the sounds of loud screams echoed into the halls. Then they stopped abruptly. Soon-hae swung open the door and stared at the carnage that lay before her. The corpses of her friends were scattered throughout the library. Some strewn over the balcony, one laying through the shattered window. And her poor friend Ara was impaled through the leg of a turned-over table. Soon-hae didn't have a second to think before she heard footsteps behind her. She threw herself to the ground and laid motionless, pretending to be dead among the other bodies. She held her breath as she heard movement all around her. She tried not to make a sound. A voice whispered, 1, 2, 1, 2. Curiosity got the better of her, and Soon-hae peeked at whatever it was. She saw a terrifying ghostly image, a woman dressed in white, long dark hair covering her face. Soon-hae squeezed her eyes shut, desperately fighting the urge to scream. The woman crept closer and still whispering, 1, 2, 1, 2. Soon-hae held her breath, hoping it would not notice her. 1, 2, 1, 2. But it was no use. It was coming closer. 1, 2, 1, 2. Abruptly, the counting stopped. Suspicious of the silence, she tried to listen for even the slightest noise. Soon-hae waited several minutes, but it felt like hours. She must have tricked it. She lifted her head and opened her eyes. Ah! The ghostly creature hovered directly above her. One bony finger pointed directly at her horrid face. 1, 2, it hissed, as it plucked out each of her eyes. Never get tired of a good whodunit? Then you'll love June's Journey. You play the game as June Parker, an amateur detective investigating a series of mysteries. There are twists and turns around every corner. You'll put your powers of observation to the test and enjoy the thrill of solving the case. I love playing June's Journey. I have always fancied myself a detective of sorts.
I'm the person who jumps ahead to the end of the book because I have to know how it turned out. I also really love playing June's Journey on mobile when I'm just chilling out or needing mental pick-me-up. So, sit back, relax, and let your inner Sherlock escape to this glamorous, roaring 20s. And with new chapters every week, there's always a new case waiting to be cracked. There's a detective in all of us. So, find your inner detective. Download June's Journey free today on the Apple App Store or Google Play.
If you would like to submit a story, send me an email at somethingscary@snarled.com. Like and share this video if it gave you the chills. And don't forget to subscribe to Snarled and turn on the bell for notifications. And if you dare, follow me on social media. Until next time, sweet dreams.